Shutterstock Music.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Black College Experience. I am Derek Thomas here in Baton Rouge, and we have in Atlanta the founder of Black College Experience in Atlanta, Keisha Kelly.
Hi everyone, it's another great weekend of Black College sports. A lot has gone on. Everyone, I kind of fell behind, but I kind of picked up and realized that the NFL Combine was going on. I did get a chance to catch Daryl Johnson. Of course, I have been hearing about Titus Howard, so I've been kind of going back. But on side of that, the biggest of the big one on this weekend, the GCAC basketball championship, the SIAC championship, and the CIAA championship. So a lot has gone on. So I know we normally do this as we go in an order of SWAC, MEAC, but today we're gonna do this a little bit different. We're gonna go with the general news, and then we're gonna go straight to the Red River. We're gonna go on down now. We're gonna go down the street so people will know what's going on down the street.
Down by the riverside. I can't sing though.
Don't do it. Let's start here with the HBCU prospects of the NFL Combine. Today, I've been seeing a lot of people say that the O linemen, the D linemen, the linemen just murdered the NFL Combine. They said they're doing better than the wide receivers. What do you think about these times? And let's talk about these three HBCU prospects: Daryl Johnson of North Carolina A&T, Josh Miles of Morgan State, and then Titus Howard of Alabama State.
Well, I watched the combine. I was looking to see if Johnson was going to run. I didn't see him run, and his time isn't listed as far as running, but he did do 20 reps on the bench press, which is, I guess pretty middle of the road for a defensive end / outside linebacker. If they have him listed as an edge player, but he's probably going to project as an outside linebacker in the NFL. His rating is a 4.92, which should be in an NFL training camp. Now, he did come out a year early, but we know our HBCU prospects always supersede their draft ratings. We see what Tariq Cohen did. We see what the maniac Darius Bernard did. I have no doubt that Daryl Johnson will outplay this mediocre ranking that they gave him. We know he's a pass rusher, Kels, and the NFL is a passing league. What you need to stop a passing league is a fast defensive lineman to get to the quarterback, and that is what Daryl Johnson is. He is a pass rusher, and if whatever team gets him, he's going to help them as he transforms himself from an HBCU All-Star to an NFL player. I wish we could have gotten more of his time to see how he measured up against some of the top prospects, because when you're an edge rusher, people want to know how fast you are.
And it's going to be interesting to see, as you say, where he lands and what he does, and talking about the timing. And I just kind of, like I said, I kind of caught it on the back end. And it's kind of like a rush to see it, but I don't think I even realized the Morgan State. I think that was at the last minute because, again, I did know about Daryl Johnson and I did know about Titus, but I do. Like I said, as long as these three people right now, because there has been a lot of buzz on Titus Howard. It's been a lot of buzz with his path to the draft. It's been a lot of buzz on his name in the last couple of weeks. So let's go here to Josh Miles from Morgan State.
Now, Josh Miles is a 6'5", 314-pound offensive tackle for Morgan State. Had a little bit of academic trouble, but he bounced back to start and earned a team's captaincy and a third-team All-MEAC honors after starting 11 games at left tackle. So he's a prototypical big body offensive lineman. And what I often see with our offensive linemen is they want to kick them inside to play guard because they don't think that they have the body being and the length to get out there and stop some of those pass rushers in today's NFL. I mean, if he can do it, he can do it. But if he can kick inside the guard and have the ability to play tackle, that makes him more valuable in my regard. Because I would like to see them really grade our HBCU prospects on their natural ability, not just for they didn't play at division, they didn't play in the FBS. I would like to see them give our prospects a benefit of doubt. Now, Miles did run the 40, a 5.32 offensive line. We don't have to be fast. That was my position in high school. I ran a 5 something in the 40. We don't have his bench press reps, and that is eye-opening because when you're an offensive lineman, you want to know how much you can bench. So I'm pretty sure he's going to bench at his pro day. Don't know why he didn't bench. He had a 36-inch vertical jump. The 3-cone drill, which measures agility, finished at an 8.07 seconds, and 20-yard shuffle was 4.75 seconds. So he is rated as a NFL backup or special teams potential. Like I said, they always rate us low, but as you can see, we always outplay those ratings. So hoping Miles can potentially work his way into the draft. If not, I'm cool with them signing us as undrafted free agents. Because guess who got signed as an undrafted free agent last year, Kels, and made the Washington Redskins and had plenty of highlights for you to retweet.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You look at Danny Johnson. Absolutely.
Yes. And
go ahead.
I was going to say, then the last prospect is Titus Howard. And I knew about Howard before the season. I didn't know he was going to be this highly rated by the NFL. He is rated as a 5.81, and that grades out as a chance to become an NFL starter. Howard is a 6'5", 322-pound offensive tackle. And it's possible that they may kick him inside the guard because he is a mauler in the running game. And like I said, that's what they like to do with our offensive linemen, kick them inside the guard because they don't look at our guys as athletic enough to stop those edge pass rushers. But Howard he ran a 5.05 40-yard dash. He did have 21 reps on the bench press. That's kind of low for an offensive lineman because DK Metcalf, a wide receiver from our home state, had 27 reps on the bench press. And I think the highest bench press was a guy out of Weber State. He did 39 reps on the bench press. I think that's the highest. So, bench press wise was a little low. His vertical jump was 29.5. And his 3-cone drill was 8.34. His 20-yard shuffle was 4.87. Joshua Miles beat Howard in both of those statistics. Miles' broad jump was 109 inches, and Howard's broad jump was 103 inches. So Miles outperformed Howard, who's rated to be a starter, a potential NFL starter, on every drill except for the 40-yard dash and the bench press because we don't know what Miles benched. So if Howard is rated to be a chance at an NFL star and Miles has similar athleticism, I know there's a lot of interests they look at when rating players, but Miles can show that, hey, you're rating this guy to be a chance at an NFL starter, or I outperformed him in all of the drills. So both of them have a good chance at making rosters.
Correct. And I tell people this a lot of times. I don't know if you've ever watched a combine. Or if you've
it's
ever
on now.
Okay, so you've been to a combine. You sat through a combine. And I tell people they're like, I don't understand the interest. I don't understand how you can sit through it. I don't understand. This is something that you have to actually like to watch.
Yes.
To actually sit through it because
it
is. It's a lot of rounds. It's a lot of it. And you have to be able to sit through it. And I sat through watching, the different levels, the different skills, the different parts of the, of the combine. Or when I went to, last year when I went to Virginia and just sitting through that and just watching them do the different drills. It is. It's one of those things. Again, it's kind of like the NFL draft. It's kind of like mock draft. You have to really like those things, or really be in tune with those things to really understand what's going on, for one, and to really, get a gauge on what's like. Again, you're saying how, Miles has outperformed Howard.
Yes.
So we look at it, and Howard has the better prospective grade on becoming an NFL starter. So, as time goes, time shifts, we'll see where it lands. But I just want each of these young men to, get a chance. And a possibility of a shot at the NFL to land on a roster. And like you said, even if they don't, going as an undrafted free agent, we saw it happen with Danny. We saw it happen with Chester. We saw these guys go as undrafted free agents, and we see what happens in the end. All they need is a chance. And like I said, I'll never forget that conversation that I had with Chester. All I need is one shot, Keisha. That's all I need. And that one shot has been proven, proven to be one of the best. So, but not to stay here.
My biggest gripe with this combine is that it's only 3 HBCU players. Now, we have a lot of overlooked talent at the HBCU level. And I know, they want to look at us at our pro days, but I would love to see, if I ever get a lot of money, if I win the Powerball, we're going to put on the Black College Experience HBCU NFL Combine. That's going to be my goal, because you have HBCU prospects from Division II, NIAI. So those prospects, some of those guys can outperform some of these guys that's performing now. I mean, they don't have a chance to showcase their skills. No one is inviting them. For instance, there's a young man who's probably going to be the potential #1 NFL draft pick. That's Kyler Murray. And he's going to be a first-round draft pick whether he throws or not. So he went to the combine. All he did was interview. He didn't throw. He didn't run. He didn't do the bench. So why would you waste an invite on someone that's not even going to truly participate? That invitation could have went to an HBCU quarterback, or another HBCU prospect.
Right. You can interview people anywhere. You could have saved that interview for a later date. He could have called in, did that. We have so much technology, you could have streamed that. So like you said, that's a wasted invitation, and that could have went to somebody else. It could have went to NBA. It could have went to HBCU prospect. It could have went to anybody else. But don't waste time interviewing. It's not like this is going to be the first time or last time you're going to have the opportunity to interview kids. It's going to be plenty of opportunities. I'm pretty sure they could call him and talk to him.
That invite could have went to North Carolina A&T's LaMarshall Graynard. He's a 2-time Black College National Championship winning quarterback. I mean, Cartwright could have used that invitation. And I understand some guys get hurt. You had a couple guys that were invited that got hurt. I can understand that. But Murray had no intention of throwing or running or working out. He's like, well, I'm going to wait till my pro day. Well, I mean, I know the NFL is going to do what they want to do. But for my understanding, I would love to see them give that invitation to someone that's hungry, that needs the exposure. Kyler Murray doesn't need the exposure.
Right. Correct. So let's go ahead. Let's take a commercial break, and we're going to come back and talk about this Red River Conference, Wiley College.
Oh, yeah. So we'll be right back with more Black College Experience in 31 seconds.
I already knew that I was going to go to college, from a young age. I definitely want to major in political science. After that, I'm going to get my law degree. Then I'm going to come back to Detroit, boost the economy, become the mayor or something, try to make the situation better for other people. I feel like I owe it to the city. I'm determined. It's going to happen. My name is Justin, and I am your dividend.
All right, we're back with more Black College Experience. And Kels wants to talk about the Red River Conference basketball tournament. A lot of people may not know that we have HBCUs in that Red River Conference. Down by the riverside, down there whooping tail. But Kels, go ahead.
So we don't talk about, a lot of times we don't talk about the Wiley colleges, the Houston Tillett. We don't talk about those colleges on down. And like you said, down by the riverside, there's tournaments and everything going on. And I think because every tournament isn't played at the same time, it kind of throws everybody off. But they do have the men's basketball tournament coming up March 7th through the 9th. It is in Longview, Texas. This is the 2019 Raising Cane's Red River Area Conference men's basketball tournament. This is going to be at Solem Center at LeTourneau University in Longview, Texas. So, of course, it does give both the men and women's information, but this is going down March 7th through the 9th. And, of course, now with the women, theirs was from February 28th through March the 2nd, and theirs was at Texas A&M in Texarkana, Texas.
We have some other HBCUs in there that's in the men also. We have Wiley is going to be playing against Texas College, and Houston Tillotson is going to be playing against St. Thomas. So we got 3 HBCUs in the Red River rivalry. I don't know why I want to call it rivalry. That's Texas versus Oklahoma. The Red River Conference basketball tournament. Excuse me.
Right. So it is. It's just refreshing. Sometimes people do. Like, I don't know about you, but I get super excited when I hear somebody talk about my school. I mean, they talk about our schools on a regular, so it's like, but if you get one of those Wiley colleges that people might not know, or a lot of people know Wiley College for the great debaters. That is what Wiley College will be known for.
That's correct.
Dr. Tolson, the great debaters. That is where that came from. So in case people didn't know, that's where it stemmed from. The late great Dr. Arthur Tolson. And the funny thing about it is the son, Junior, was my professor in college.
Awesome.
So they got dad, and then I got son. So it was, and I can't tell you a professor that was smarter than him. Even in his age before passing away, I can't tell you a professor that I had at Southern University that was smarter than him. But again, you get those colleges that we don't talk about often, and they're doing the doggone thing. But of course, the Wiley women, they did fall. They fell in the Red River tournament.
Yeah. They lost to Shreveport, LSU 66-58. Houston Tillotson defeated St. Thomas 66-62. Then Houston Tillotson fell to Our Lady of the Lake 85-67. So HBCUs were eliminated from the tournament, but we do have 2 members from HBCUs on the all-tournament team. That is DeMonica Franklin out of Wiley and Joya Lemons out of Houston Tillotson. So congratulations to those young ladies.
So, moving right on. So now that we covered the Red River Conference, we just to move on up. So we're gonna move on up the river, move on up the street to our independent conferences. That's Tennessee State, Hampton, Langston, West Virginia State, Stillman, Fisk. Well, we did Wiley, Texas College, and we'll just kind of go through them. Of course, Stillman, they did fall to Loyola in the semi of the SSAC. The Stillman women did fall to Loyola as well.
Yes.
Hampton men, they're the number 8 seed in the Big South. Now, let me stop right there. The funny thing is that you and I both know it was a lot of commotion and a lot of camaraderie with Hampton going to the Big South. A lot of people did not agree with that move when it was getting ready to go last year. As we can see, it has not been a bad move. It's not been a bad move, especially coming off with both men and women coming off of indoor track and field championships. So it has not been a bad move. What do you think about that move to the Big South for Hampton?
In basketball, and of course my favorite basketball is women's basketball. They're right up there behind the top 2 teams in the women's basketball. And we know Hampton was dominant last year in the MEAC, defeating the North Carolina Lady Tar Heels. So Hampton is a talented women's basketball team. So in the women's basketball, I think they're going to be able to compete and possibly win that conference very soon. The men worked their way to the number 8 seed. They haven't been as dominant as the women have. So, but for them to be in the tournament in their first year, that is an awesome accomplishment for Hampton. can't wait to see how they fare in that tournament. Of course, you already announced about the outdoor track and field. And then in football, can't wait to see how they do in football. This coming year, the second year in football. Hopefully we can make some noise, show them how HBCUs do. And while I'm talking, I just saw we had a caller call. That's my line brother, Patrick Perry. How you doing, PP?
Don't have to work this weekend at night.
Hey.
So I'm feeling good.
All right. So, it's good to see Hampton doing well. I think it's a good move. Yes, a lot of people have heard about this. But we were able to kiss and make up with our sister HBCU, and the rivalries will continue. We still will have the MEAC rivalries. We still will play schools in the SWAC. Matter of fact, Hampton defeated my Delta Devils, and I was hoping we could have beat them so I could hold it over Paula's head. But unfortunately, we fell short, and Hampton escaped with a victory. So, let's see here. Now, scrolling on up, we do have finals in the GCAC tournament. Let me bring this up. I know Tougaloo College was able to defeat Edward Waters.
Tougaloo College did defeat Edward Waters. Dillard, the ladies came out as the victors. It was a lot going on between the GCAC and the CIAA. I couldn't keep up. The SIAC just threw us out. Patrick, you weren't here last week, but me and Derek just messed up the whole SIAC conference altogether. We predicted one thing and they just going the opposite way.
Every prediction that was a SIAC. Yes, in the SIAC, I predicted Kentucky State would win for the men. I also predicted that Benedict would continue their winning ways, that they went undefeated all season long in the conference. And I guess you could say I jinxed them. My bad, Kentucky State. My bad, Benedict. Sorry. I won't pick y'all next year if y'all get back to the tournament and have good seasons.
I took Morehouse, and we see how that ended up. But let's go here to the GCAC. We'll come back to the SIAC because me and Derek just completely messed that up.
Yes, indeed. Now, in the GCAC, former Black College Experience guest and a long-term mentor in the inner city of Jackson, Mississippi, Thomas Bibbles wins his first GCAC tournament championship, defeating Edward Waters 91-85. It's a hard-fought victory. Tougaloo finished season 12-2 in the conference, and you would think they would have, been able to find it easy in the tournament. Of course, we saw what happens at SIAC, but Tougaloo was able to weather the storm and become champions. And Coach Biddles, congratulations to you. We're going to have to get you back on and talk about how you feel about this championship and how you can continue building on this championship season. On the women's side, Dillard defeated Edward Waters. How about Edward Waters getting both of their basketball teams to the GCAC tournament championship game, Kels? Unfortunately, both teams fell short. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that was awesome. Both teams there, I was saying the same thing. It was awesome to see that both of their teams actually made it.
And it was one of those barn burners, Kels, a 2-point victory. Dillard defeating Edward Waters in women's basketball in the GCAC 64-62. And we have now completed the basketball slate in the GCAC. Congratulations to the Tougaloo College and Dillard. We're going to see if y'all can repeat as champions. Y'all got the target on your back now. And we all know what happens when you have targets pinned on your back. Someone's going to try to take it from you. Someone's going to try to take that championship. And I know Coach Billups is going to be looking to continue building this team at Tougaloo because that's all he did when he was at Lanier was win. And I have no doubt that he's going to continue building a championship caliber team at Tougaloo. And we can't leave out my frat brother, Coach Jackson at Rust. He's going to also be looking to improve his Rust Lady Bearcat standing this year. His first year had the leading scorer in the league, They've been signing some good players, and he's going to be looking to make a run next year in the season for basketball. So congratulations to all the young men and women who have had a tremendous basketball season in the GCAC and the SIAC, the CIAA. You really, really left it on the hardwood.
All right, so that's the GCAC. Let's go over to the, I don't know, let's get some feedback. I don't know if it's a mic or something. There's like some feedback going on in the background.
Is that you typing? Someone's typing.
Yeah, something's going on in the background.
Okay. PP, if that's you typing, man, mute your mic so that we don't get that. Okay, that's coming from your phone.
Okay, so over in the CIAA, of course, we know they're still in Charlotte. I think it was a better turnout. I actually got a chance to watch some of it on Aspire. I think I got a chance to watch Livingstone, Johnson C. Smith. I think Virginia State of Virginia. One of them were going in, so I did get a chance to watch some of it. For people that do not know, I am not a fan of mascots. I am like I do not like mascots. Okay, so looking at those like Livingstone, I don't like mascots. Livingstone Blue Bears, I don't like their mascot. I'm not a fan. The Fayetteville State Broncos, I don't like their mascot. I'm just not a fan of those mascots, and this is just out of this conference. I can go on. Morehouse.
Were you scared of Chuck E. Cheese as a child, Kels?
No, I wasn't scared of them. I wasn't scared of none of that stuff when I was a kid. It's just like as I got older, just the look of them. They look even more, and then they're taller, and they're much bigger than me. So it's just, I take pictures with them, but I'm just not a fan. And I do. I tell Steven from HBCU Game Day all the time, I take pictures with them, but I'm just not a fan of mascots. I do not. I'm just not. I'm not a fan of any of them.
We're going to make sure
I really
you
don't.
take a picture with the Delta Devil one day.
Oh, God, I have to see what it looks like. Is it a devil?
It's a devil.
It looks scary? Yeah, I'm about to Google it. If it looks scary, I'm not taking a picture with it. That's just,
it looks friendly.
I'm not a fan. But going over here to the CIAA, first of all, shout out to Commissioner McWilliams, man. She held it down. She holds it down over in the CIAA. Like when I say she gets it done, she gets it done. Virginia State, they captured the CIAA men's basketball championship. Looks like they did defeat the Shaw Bears 77-66. So they did take home that championship yesterday on Saturday to be the winners of that good old CIAA. I really wanted to get out there to the CIAA, but I just didn't get the chance to get out there this year. And I was like, next year will probably be the year to go before they actually make a move up out of there to the next destination. On the women's side, shout out to the Virginia Union. They earned their second consecutive CIAA in the women's basketball championship. It looks like Sharika McNeil, she broke the CIAA tournament scoring record with a 37-point effort as Virginia Union once again won its second consecutive CIAA women's basketball championship this is a crazy blowout, 75-41.
Wow.
Over Fayetteville State. Now,
I wish I had a soundbite for that.
I know. And the thing is that, and again, I saw Steven talking about this earlier, and I don't know if either of y'all have watched Sharika McNeil, but I saw them talking about, I see the buzz with her and this record breaking. 37 points. What do y'all think about that?
I'm happy about it because, I'm a women's basketball groupie. Is she the same young lady that had the almost 60-point game? I think that's her. But
I think so.
Yes.
I think so.
She's a scoring machine. I mean, when you have someone who can score that many points, I mean, she almost outscored Shaw. I mean, it's it's great to see a young lady be able to lead her team to a championship and also break records doing it. But when you have someone like that that can score and that can also, she's also a good defender. She's also gets her teammates involved in the game. But when she can swing your own like that, pass her the ball, let her shoot it. What you think, PP?
Oh, it's like this. I think it's more common to see great players like that at the lower than Division I level women's side, it's more common than men. You're not gonna see great players like that end up at NIAA or D2 schools on the men's side. They usually end up going one and done. But to see somebody of that level at a D2 school, that's great.
Yes, indeed. And just to run down of the all-tournament teams for the CIAA on the men's side, out of Shaw, you have Alex Owen and Amir Hinton. Out of Virginia State, you have Jalen Jackson and Jameer Howes, and also Ciante Melvin. Out of St. Aug's, you have Jalen Gaddy. Out of Elizabeth City State, you have Joseph Allen. Livingstone, Roger Way. Bowie State, Cameron Hayes. Johnson C. Smith, Roderick Ross. And the tournament's most valuable player is Jameer Howes out of Virginia State. On the women's side, you have out of Virginia Union, Sharika McNeil, Rejoice Spivey, Jasmine Carter. Out of Fayetteville State, Katisha Hyman, Chantel Bennett, Yakima Clifton. Out of Lincoln, Pennsylvania, Kwanzaa Murray. Two good ladies out of Elizabeth City State, Asia Deal and Jalen Brown. And out of Bowie State, Kajaya Williams. Forgive me for butchering your name. And the tournament's most valuable player is none other than Sharika McNeil out of Virginia Union. Well-deserved, awesome performance by Virginia Union and Virginia State's basketball championship teams.
Okay, so that is the CIAA. Again, it looks like it was a better turnout. Now, the thing I did notice this year, last year, CIAA had a lot of stuff, a lot of more things going on around. They had a college fair, I think career fair. They had a lot of stuff, and I think they might have cut down on some of that stuff, being that they're moving and year after next. But, again, congratulations to all of those winners over in the CIAA. SIAC, the SIAC just they threw me for a loop. They threw me for a loop. The funny thing is that you took Kentucky State, I took Morehouse, but I kept saying that Miles was going to go for a run. For everyone to know, Miles did win football championship in December. They did win their football championship for the SIAC. I'm probably predicted second to last in their conference to win, and they actually won. We come over to the basketball. First time in school history that they have won a championship in basketball. So imagine that. The first time in school history.
Wow.
The very first time in school history that they won a basketball championship. Would love to be on that team.
Yes, indeed.
To be on that team.
And they defeated Lamont Owens in blowout fashion, 70-46. I mean, that is awesome.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this coach's first year? Is this the coach's first year, I want to say?
I will have to research that. I'm not sure if this is first year or not.
I want to say they said this might be coach's first year. I'm really not sure. But like you said, that's another dismantling. 70-46. 70-46. And then we talk about LeByron Harris had 19 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks to earn the tournament's most valuable player honors.
Yes.
As Miles, 21-8, earned an automatic berth into the NCAA Division II South Region tournament.
Yes, indeed. And to run down the rest of the all-tournament team, Devontae Fuller and Jelani Watson-Gale, also of Miles, Tyrone Banks and Devin Booker of Lamont Owens, Joshua Holiday of Payne, and coach of the tournament, Fred Watson. So congratulations on the honors. You earned them.
So, again, you went for Benedict for women. I agree, but then I did throw Clark in there. Didn't happen. Your 2019 CIAC women's basketball champions belong to the Lady Dragons of Lane College. Looks like, I don't know. This one came down to the wire, 44-42. I saw a game like that last year when Clark was playing. So I've seen the 2 points, 3 points. It comes down to the wire. This one was a more of a close game playing against Kentucky State. So they did outlast the Lady Thoroughbreds 44-42. And it looks like it was just a conversion of a 3-point play that actually did it. But it says senior guard Antrese McCoy saw time winding down on the shot clock, drove the lane, she was fouled, and threw up a prayer. That's how the game was won.
Yes, it is.
In Birmingham, in the Harris Arena, Birmingham Crossplex on Saturday.
But you have to look at the run Lane went on. They were the number 4 seed in the West. They took out 5 seed East Payne 70-52. Then took out the undefeated Benedict Tigers 74-61, dominating them. The number 1 seed out of the East. And then the next game they had to play was against Central State. They blew them out 53-37. And then comes the game against Kentucky State. Kentucky State, the 7 seed out of the West, in which these two teams, you know, like you said, there was a hard-fought team, but Lane made a run. They got into tournament mode. LeBron James has been saying that he needs to get his playoff mentality activated. He needs to take a cue from the Lane women's basketball team. They got their tournament mode activated and ran through teams that they probably didn't have a chance at beating during the regular season. Congratulations to the Lane Dragons. I love that mascot. You don't see a lot of dragons in college sports.
Yeah, I probably won't like that either then. That sounds like that's
It's actually a cool mascot. They have a nice logo. I love their logo.
Is it big?
Yeah,
Go ahead, PP.
yeah, I said Lane and Lynchburg both got dragon
Yes,
mascots.
Lynchburg, and both of those logos are awesome.
Yeah, that sounds like that's big too. And I'm little. That sounds a little nope. So switching gears, cheer champions. A lot of times we look at sports and we don't talk about cheerleaders, but in our HBCUs, looks like the cheerleading teams are hyping it up. They're doing the doggone thing. I watched cheerleaders across the board in different conferences. The all-female cheer champion went to, of course, the Clark Atlanta University Panthers. The mixed team champion was the Martyrs of Central State. The competitors look like Lemoyne Owen, Miles College, and Albany State. So congratulations to all of those cheerleaders in that cheerleading competition.
Yes, indeed. And PP, speaking of cheerleaders, that mixed team, if Leo was still living, he would be loving that. You know, it's our line brother. He was a cheerleader at Valley. He passed away a few years ago. And he was a very, very proud cheerleader for Valley. So just want to throw that. We were talking about male cheerleaders and mixed team cheerleaders. This made me think about my line brother.
Okay, so before we go into the MEAC, let's take another commercial break and let's come back and talk about this MEAC.
All right, we'll be right back in 25 seconds.
Are you interested in attending an historically black college or university? Hello, my name is Robert Mason. I'm president and founder of the Common Black College application. Our application allows you to apply to any number of 44 historically black colleges and universities at the same time for only $35. So visit our website at www.commonblackcollegeapp.com to apply now. Thank you, and get educated.
All right, we're back with more Black College Experience, and Kel is ready to jump into the MEAC.
Go ahead.
All right, in the MEAC, on the men's side, and we're getting ready, we're speeding along to tournament time in the MEAC and also in the SWAC, but we have a few games left in both leagues. This past weekend's games on March 2nd, Bethune-Cookman defeated South Carolina State 98-95. Norfolk State blew out Coppin State 72-38. Morgan State blew out Delaware State 76-58. North Carolina A&T defeated Florida A&M 63-42. Howard defeated Savannah State 81-76, and FAMU just you think they would put up more of a fight, even though they can't play in the MEAC championship tournament. But to lose like they lose this past weekend, I mean that's just no ever. That team is really kind of giving up, you know, to lose like they're losing now, because they were having a pretty good season before all that academic turmoil started. But since that, they have just gone down the drain. Looking at the standings. All right. On the men's side, Norfolk State is leading the conference at 13-1. North Carolina A&T at 12-3. North Carolina Central at 10-5. Have two teams, Howard and Bethune-Cookman at 9-6. Savannah State at 7-8. Coppin State at 6-9.
So Norfolk State just won. They're the regular season champions, right? Yeah, they just won regular season champs last night.
They still have games remaining, but they're probably going to win the regular season championship. That's one thing.
They already crowned them the regular season champs last night. Yeah, they did last night. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep, they gave it to them last night.
That's awesome. I was going to analyze the last remaining games because, you want to try to get as much positioning as you can within the conference. Right. And last 2 weeks, you got on tomorrow, you have Norfolk State versus Delaware State. And we know Norfolk State's going to run through that team. Morgan State and Maryland Eastern Shore, they're right there toward the bottom of the MEAC. Both of those teams, Morgan State at 4-10, Maryland Eastern Shore at 3-11. That's a toss up there. The last week of the season, before the tournament starts on March 11, you have Delaware State against Maryland Eastern Shore, North Carolina Central versus North Carolina A&T, a rivalry game, which will be on Flow Hoops. Coppin State versus Morgan State, which will also be on Flow Hoops. Florida A&M versus Bethune-Cookman. Howard versus Norfolk State. Savannah versus South Carolina State. So, and that's going to end the MEAC basketball season on March 7th, and they'll be preparing for the MEAC tournament. And of course, with Norfolk being the regular season champion, as Kels has educated me, I'm pretty sure they're going to be the favorite to win. But we all know, based off our predictions in the SIAC, that just because you're number one don't mean you're going to host that trophy at the end of the tournament.
I'm not taking any more. I'm not doing any more predictions.
I'm not going to jinx nobody because if we get listened to and they lose,
I can make a prediction right now.
Well, who do you think going to win the MEAC tournament, PP?
Central. If Lamel Vaughn, if he's still in the conference, you never like he showed last year. You never count them out, man.
Yeah, they're going to be the number 3 seed.
So I'll pick them right now.
Wait, so who did you pick?
North Carolina Central.
Oh, no, okay.
I guess we'll see. I mean, all of these teams are so close together.
On the girls' side, I will make a prediction on the women's side. I'll take North Carolina A&T on the women's side.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and go through the women's scores. All right, from this past week. Coppin State defeats Norfolk State 54-51. Delaware State defeats Morgan State 62-57. Howard blows out Savannah State 106-70. North Carolina A&T blows out FAMU 77-53. South Carolina State defeats Bethune-Cookman 57-51. And as far as the standings go, Kels, North Carolina A&T is 15-0 like Benedict was. So, you don't think you're going to jinx that, Lady Aggies?
I don't, because the Lady Aggies won last year, so I'm going to take them there. They're not. It's not like they're rookies to it. Yeah, they're not rookies. They've had some pretty stellar seasons the last couple of seasons. And I've been talking to their coach, trying to get their coach on. So, yeah. I'm still going to take A&T now. If they lose, then I'm just going to stop my predictions altogether and be done with predictions for the year. I'm not doing any more. But I'm going to take A&T. I'm going to take the Lady Aggies.
All right. And before we jump into the SWAC, I want to mention the MEAC Players of the Week, weekly honors. And that is Coppin State Senior Brooke Fields was selected as the MEAC's Women's Basketball Player of the Week. Coppin State's Jelena Sally earned the Women's Rookie of the Week. And North Carolina Central Junior Pauline Alfredi was named Defensive Player of the Week. Fields averaged 20 points, 9.5 assists, and 2.5 steals per contest this past week. Sally dropped a career-high 22 points on 10 of 15 shooting against Howard. And Alfredi was an all-around defensive force this past week, averaging 11 rebounds, 3 steals, and 1.5 points per contest. on the men's side, the MEACs announced today that junior guard Malik Maitland of Bethune-Cookman and sophomore R.J. Cole of Howard will share honors as this week's MEAC Men's Basketball Player of the Week. Additionally, BCU's Clatreya Pope, a junior forward, is this week's MEAC Defensive Player of the Week, and Howard's Andre Toure, a freshman forward, earns MEAC Rookie of the Week. Maitland scored 20 points while adding 7 assists, 4 steals, and 1 rebound in the Wildcats' victory at in-state rival Florida A&M. Cole averaged 19 points, 4.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists, and 4 steals as the Bison tallied wins over Coppin State and Morgan State. Pope garnered game-high 12 rebounds, including 10 defensive boards in the win at FAMU. Toure played an integral role in the Bison tallying victories on the road against Coppin State on Saturday and Morgan State on Monday, averaging 11.5 points and 3 rebounds, with a total of 2 blocks and 2 assists and 1 steal during the week. Congratulations to our men's and women's MEAC Players of the Week.
Okay, so as we roll into our final, it's going to be in the SWAC, but I just want to kind of go through this tennis because, of course, it seems like some people making some noise. Just a short review of what's going on over here in men's and women's tennis. It looks like right now between Prairie View, Alabama A&M, Alcorn is making some type of run. Grambling, looks like they just opened. So just kind of running that down. Alabama A&M, it's a bunch of splits here. Alabama A&M took Prairie View 4-1 in men, 4-3. Prairie View took Alabama A&M in women 4-3. Grambling took Pine Bluff 4-0 in women's tennis. Alcorn took Mississippi Valley 4-0 in men's tennis, and then 4-0 in women's tennis. That's ironic. Alabama State took Southern women's tennis 4-0. They took Jackson State in women's tennis 4-0. Alabama State took Jackson State in men's tennis 4-2. Pine Bluff took Valley 4-0 in women. Pine Bluff took Valley in men's 5-0. Prairie View took Mississippi Valley men's tennis 4-0. They also took them in women's tennis 4-0. Alabama A&M took Alcorn men's tennis 4-1, and then Alabama A&M took Alcorn 4-3.
Well, we didn't beat anybody, PP.
Yeah.
I think we just brought back tennis last year, so that's going to be.
Oh yeah, so it's probably it's probably gonna take some time. You can see Southern right there with a 0 too. So it is. I mean, as we can see, Alabama State, of course, they're Alabama State is one of those again that they do. But that's what's going on in tennis. So let's move on up. You want to go with basketball? What do you want to go with next?
Basketball, men's basketball scores for the week. Texas Southern defeats Alabama State 78-68. Your Jaguars, Kels, blew out Alcorn, trying to position themselves to get into the SWAC tournament, beating the Braves 61-46. UAPB defeats Grambling 70-66. Prairie View defeats Alabama A&M 72-65 to solidify the top spot. But the upset of the week, I've been waiting on this all day. Our Delta Devils sent those Tigers home with the tail between their legs in men's basketball, defeating Jackson State 60-57. We welcomed them to Itta Bena with a loss. And I was so happy when I saw that. I wanted to post so bad, but I was like, no, I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be good. So with 3 games remaining, our Delta Devils, of course, still a pitiful season, sit at 6-24, 4-12 in the SWAC, but our tournament hopes are kept alive by defeating Jackson State. A thrilling victory. PP, did you go to the game?
Yep.
So talk about the atmosphere.
Being honest, I mean, it was still our biggest game, but it was still, I mean, Jackson State always brings, like, a charter bus, usually of students, and they always add the atmosphere, and it was just, both games competitive. To me, it was never, like, a big run by either team. It always stayed within 4 or 5 points, and Valley was able to pull it out at the end.
Yes, indeed. And jumping to the women's side, Texas Southern defeats Alabama State 51-44. Southern Lady Jags dominant as well. Kels defeating Alcorn State 51-39. Grambling State and Chicago Hill, I think she broke that steals record, defeating UAPB 67-57. Go ahead, Kels.
Yeah, I was just saying she did. She's at 470 career steals. So of course she broke the school record and the SWAC record. So congratulations to Chicago Hill on that.
Yes, indeed. And Prairie View defeats Alabama A&M 72-69. And the last game we're going to talk about is, of course, the Jackson State versus Valley matchup, women's basketball, and it was a thriller. It was a thriller, Kels and PP. Our Delta Devils had the lead at halftime. I saw PP post that. I was excited. I was happy, like, yes, I'm going to get a chance to pick at Tamika if we beat Jackson State. But she led her Tigers back, and they defeated our Delta Devils 87-86 in overtime. We always try to play Jackson State tough, but we wanted to welcome both teams to Itabena with a raucous crowd, with as much inhospitality as we could, and we escaped with one of those victories and almost defeat Lady Tigers, but they get a chance to go home proudly with a W over our Lady Devilettes. Congratulations to you, Coach Reed. You're trying to get that team right and solidify yourself for a pretty middle road seed in the SWAC tournament. So we can talk. Go ahead, PP.
Oh no, I was just saying. I was make sure I was still there.
Okay. So now I just want to highlight the players of the week in the SWAC. All right. On the men's side, for a fourth consecutive week, wow, Jeremy Combs has been named the SWAC Men's Player of the Week. He contributed 27 points and 11 rebounds during Texas Southern's 20-point victory over UAPB. He followed that effort up with a 24-point, 10-rebound performance against Mississippi Valley, leading to a 92-80 win over the Delta Devils. Other notable performances: Grambling State's Ivy Smith, Alcorn State's Reginald Johnson, Jackson State's Chris Howell, Southern Sidney Mude, Alcorn's Maurice Howard, and Alabama State's Leon Daniels. And for the women, Player of the Week is... All right. Artravia Ford, a 6'3" forward center out of Fort Worth, Texas, for Prairie View. Ford averaged 15 points and 4 blocks per game as the Lady Panthers earned wins over Valley and the UAPB Lady Lions. And on the 13 minutes of action against Valley State, she scored 17 points and swatted 5 shots during a blowout win, 91-55 over the Lady Panthers. Only 13 minutes? Wow, what a performance. She senior then contributed 13 points and 3 block shots in just 12 minutes of play during Prairie View's 79-46 win over UAPB. If she would have played the whole game, she probably could have had a quadruple double. I mean, this young lady, in only 25 minutes, she scored, let's see here, see if I can add that up, 17 points and 13 points. That is outstanding. You know, averaging well over 1 point per minute. Other notable performances are Jackson State's Marnisha Hamer, Alabama State's Ayana Emanuel, Alabama A&M's Nigeria Jones, and Texas Southern's Naya Mitchell. Congratulations to all of our SWAC players of the week on the men's and women's side. And we're going to be heading to the end of the regular season soon, y'all. Trying to get seeds for the SWAC tournament in Birmingham this year. We all know who the favorites are going to be on the men's and women's sides. But we're going to wait until the tournament gets ready to start before we pick our winners, right? I'm not going to pick nobody but Southern in the women's side. And the men's side is a coin flip between Texas Southern and Prairie View. What do you guys think?
I'm picking Southern on the women's side. I'm taking Prairie View on the men's side.
I agree with you. That's what I'm running with too. PP?
On the men's side, that's a toss-up. I want to see how the seedings look before I make a pick on that side. I'll just wait. I'll wait. Wait.
And I think this is the last week of the season. Pull up the schedule so we can analyze these last few games.
Yeah, I know I'm going to Grambling and Valley tomorrow.
Right. So, yes, Texas Southern will play against Alabama A&M. Jackson State will play against UAPB. Prairie View will play against Alabama State. And Grambling will visit Illabena. Thursday's games
will be on ASBNU.
The Grambling Valley game?
No, the Prairie View game.
Okay. So make sure you check out ESPNU to see Prairie View battle Alabama State. And the last games of the season will be Alabama State versus Jackson State, Alcorn State versus Texas Southern, Alabama State versus Grambling State, Southern versus Prairie View, and the last games on March 9th will be UAPB versus Valley, Southern versus Texas Southern. That's going to be a big matchup. Alabama State versus Jackson State, Alabama A&M versus Grambling State, and Alcorn versus Prairie View. And then we'll get ready for the SWAC tournament in Birmingham. Hopefully, our Delta Devils will be able to make it in, PP.
If Southern wins, they in. I mean, they just need to win one game. It's looking bad, man.
Yes, indeed.
They just need to win one game.
Do we want to run through softball right quick here before we get out of here?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Midweek games in softball. We see North Alabama defeating Jackson State 8-1. Central Arkansas defeating Jackson State 11-0. Southeastern defeating Alcorn 7-1. Mississippi State defeats Alcorn 6-0. Alabama A&M defeats Tuskegee. They sweep Tuskegee 5-2 in the first game, 9-1 in the second game. Valley sweeps Grambling 10-6 in the first game, 7-2 in the second game. Jackson State sweeps Belhaven 41 in the first game, 5-2 in the second game. And the Women's Player of the Week for softball, we have two. A pitcher of the week is Justine Jean out of Alabama State. It's the pitcher of the week. And Tamia Lee Barbardillo out of Alabama A&M. These young ladies, Dean was relied on heavily, tossing 21 innings in 4 games with 3 starts and 1 relief appearance. She picked up a pair of wins and amassed 17 strikeouts. She tossed 2 complete games and was solid against Mississippi State, allowing just 6 hits and 3 runs. The hitter of the week, Lee Barbardillo, hit .363 during the weekend series at Savannah State, driving in 7 runs. She also scored 3 runs. Other notable performances are Alabama A&M's Danielle Hansel, Alabama State's Alexis Senor, Prairie View's Crystal Castillo, Prairie View's Destiny Williams, Texas Southern's Marissa Padron, and Texas Southern's Chelsea Baxter. That's all I have, Kels. Go ahead and close us out.
So as everyone knows, we were supposed to have Dr. Okoro on tonight, and that's the doctor that graduated, of course, from Xavier and Howard, the team doctor for both the Chicago Bulls and the Chicago White Sox. So Doctor has rescheduled. That's the great thing. He will be on next Sunday. So, of course, Derek did get this right. He's probably busy. Derek was correct in that aspect. So we did get some right this week. He was busy, got caught up, and I don't know if he tied up the weekends, but I knew he was serious because he did. He sent over his bio right after I talked to him, and he sent over his phone number. So Doctor will be joining us on next Sunday at 7 o'clock. We will hear from Dr. Okoro. He has a pretty, I mean, when I looked at his bio, I mean, goodness, real interesting. And, I mean, it is pretty impressive, all the things that he's done, the things that he's trying to do, and finishing up a fellowship right now. So I'm pretty excited. So that's where we are next week. We will hear from Dr. Kelechi Okoroha. That's on next Sunday.
Yes, indeed. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you check in for that interview. Kels, that's a great find there, ma'am.
We're gonna keep on pounding. We're gonna keep on looking and make sure we keep on finding these hidden gems, because there's plenty of them out there.
Oh, most
They're
definitely.
out there. We just have to keep finding them.
All right. So check us out for next week. We out of here.
Good night, folks.